Hello, welcome back. My name is Jakeb Livengood, your host of the Living Good with Jakeb Livengood podcast. I'm really excited to bring you this one today. This is going to be a good one. And for full context, you'll probably want to circle back to episode 22 and 23, talking about a really cool investing strategy that's like a secret hack to get new levels financially in your life. And then profits are better than wages, in that order, 22, 23. Today is a bit of a financial game plan episode, and this is awesome. And it was just from one TikTok that I saw on School of Hard Knocks, which is a great page, great channel. Guy goes around the whole country and just interviews entrepreneurs and asks them leading questions that provides value. And this one sentence that this guy said hit me so hard. And I was like, wow, I've been unconsciously doing this my whole life, the last 8 years. And now I'm doing it like double down. And I think people need to understand what this is and how to do it and what it looks like and then what that may entail, right? And so here's the sentence. Here's the key that this whole episode's formulated on. It was a guy, and he was in a Rolls Royce, and he said, here's the key. Here's how I became successful. All right. You've got to stay small enough, long enough that you'll be big enough soon enough. Right. He said that. And I went crazy, dude. Crazy. Maybe it hasn't hit you yet how impactful and how amazing that is. But let me say it again. Okay. And then I'm going to break it down. You must stay small enough, long enough that you'll be big enough soon enough. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, let's first look at my life, okay? I've done over 7 figures in revenue. I've raised VC funds, okay, on a $5 million valuation. If I wanted to, right now I daily drive a Toyota Prius, a 2014. It's 10 years old. I own it outright. Daily drive that, and I live a very meager lifestyle. I live in one of my parents' properties, keeping my expenses as low as possible. I'm bootstrapping my entire life. Now, mind you, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and leverage some debt. I could pull some equity around and get some capital right now, and I could make it look like I'm a lot more successful than I am by going and getting that exotic car, my first exotic, probably a baby exotic, right? And then I could go ahead and rent out a really nice place, raise my baseline expenditure by quite a bit. Hello, cat. My cat is freaking out. She always does this when I start recording my pod. It's so funny. But look, I could do that so that my public persona and my image online would look better and bigger, and people would be more excited and infatuated to follow me because I had the lifestyle, right? And I just think it's a poor model. And here's what I'm actually doing. Okay, my cat's thumping around. Hold on. Gotta pet my cat a little bit so she'll stop freaking out. Look, so I could do that if I wanted to, but I don't really deem it necessary, okay? I'm totally cool with being at a place in my life where people are looking at my life and going, this guy, he barely has anything going on, so why would I listen to him? And the doubters get their foothold in, and they come in and they say, this guy's not even really doing anything. But what it is an intentional, it is the first half of that formula, okay? Small enough, long enough that you'll be big enough soon enough. Okay, so I could go ahead and make my lifestyle higher. What I am doing consciously, which by the way I've been doing for years. When I started my tech company in California, that I VC funded, right? What I did was I sold both vehicles I owned outright. I exited my other company so that I could have some liquidity, and I moved into the garage. Owned nothing, and I lived in a garage, effectively homeless in California, because I was like, it doesn't even matter. I'm going to be working in the office 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, so it doesn't matter where I lay my head at night. Didn't need a lavish lifestyle, okay? Kept the expenditures low. Still to this day, keeping expenditures low. And what I'm doing with that excess capital that I could be spending on lifestyle is I am putting it in assets, in investment vehicles that are paying me over time. So on the front end, looking at my lifestyle, it looks like I'm not really doing much, right? Someone that's got just their regular 9 to 5 W-2 job, that's maybe a desk job, and they're going on a quarterly vacation, okay? They might look and they've got a brand new 2023, 2024 car that they're leasing, or they've got payments on, they got $40,000 in debt, right? Okay, and they're renting a place that they're paying $2,000 a month for, that's like a high rise in downtown Phoenix or Scottsdale. Their lifestyle looks great, and they look like they're more successful than me on the surface, but in all actuality, they're living beyond their means. They're going into debt. I'm living way below my means and taking all excess capital that I could allocate to my lifestyle, and I'm putting it in investment instruments and vehicles that are paying me more and more and more. So over time, I'm making more and more and more cash flow, and the majority of my cash flow is completely 100% passive. So it keeps growing outside of my direct purview, outside of me trading time for money. I've depegged my time from money cost basis, okay? I get paid whether or not I work or not. I do not have to trade time for money because of the systems I've built and because of the businesses I have. So I'm small enough, okay? I'm small. My lifestyle's meager. I live a meager lifestyle. I drive an old Prius. Cosmetically, it's not that great. Mechanically, that's a whole different episode, but I removed the motor, put a motor in there with 45,000 miles, dropped that thing in myself, pulled the big hybrid battery, rebuilt the hybrid battery with new cells, put that back together. Mechanically, the car's absolutely pristine. It's perfect. It's flawless. I get like 55 mpg. Not to mention, I get 55 mpg. Okay, I was driving a sports car before that, ripping that thing around town, having fun, but getting like 18 to 20 mpg. Right? I'm saving on gas. I'm saving massive. My insurance is 30% what I used to be paying. So that right there, just off of those two expenditures, I'm saving $500 additional a month that I'm putting into investment vehicles. Okay, and that's just two examples of where I'm saving by having a smaller lifestyle. So I'm small enough. The long enough part of it, okay? Here's the thing. What's interesting about doing this model of life is a lot of people are going to tell you how the cow ate the cabbage, okay? They're going to tell you you suck, you're a fake, you're a phony, you're not really doing anything. If you really were doing the things that you say you're doing, you'd have a better lifestyle. You'd look more successful. Okay? It's interesting that's the frame that people view reality from, because it's like, okay, you can judge me all you want, but let's walk it out a decade. Let's see what happens, right? So the long enough, okay, you need to be okay eating the criticism of people doing less than you that look like they're doing more than you because their lifestyle is more than yours currently because they're leveraging bad debt, okay? I mean, we're not breaking down anything that you don't already know. This is, you know these things, okay? Small enough, long enough, okay? So if you're small enough, long enough, you're consciously living a less than you're capable of lifestyle and taking that difference in your expenditures and putting it into investment vehicles, and you're growing it over time, you'll be big enough soon enough. What does that mean? Well, that means eventually. Now, I don't know when the precipice will be for you. I don't know what will be the final catalyst, the straw that broke the camel's back. But at some point in your process, when you're consciously living and doing this, what's going to happen is your baseline passive income is going to exceed your expenditures 4 times over, 3 times over, 2 times. Really, it only needs to be 1 time over. If your baseline passive income exceeds your expenditures, you've now achieved what's defined as financial freedom. Okay? So now what? Well, now you can take the money that's coming in. Now, instead of using active formed income from an active income to put into passive investment vehicles, or scalping and living a less than median lifestyle, lowering your lifestyle so that you have that difference in your capital so that you can invest that. Well, now the money that's been invested that's paying you passively, now that money that's passively paying you is your excess. So now your lifestyle is even below the excess capital that's coming in from your passive investments. So now you can do one of 2 things. You can keep being small enough, take that extra passive income off the top after expenditures and invest that in and keep the snowball rolling. or you can use that passive cash flow to increase your lifestyle. Now, I already have 4 income streams that are passive income that are paying me. They're net positive, okay? I could go ahead and level up my lifestyle right now. I'm really not concerned with it. I'm 27 years old. My golden year is going to be 29. I'm chilling. Hopefully, maybe if the numbers make sense, I'll get a Gallardo in my 29th birthday during my golden year. That's potentially, it's a soft idea. It's on the vision board. We'll see. But I don't really have any mean or desire, honestly, to level up the lifestyle any sooner than I need to, right? Because it's like I'm my lifestyle is meager, and it's like a lot less than my peers in my current age group and what they're doing. But like I'm living my dreams. Nobody calls me and tells me what to do. Okay? Nobody. I'm my own boss 100% fully entirely. And, maybe I'm making less capital off the top end than people in my age group, but that's not going to be forever. And so to raise my baseline expenditures just so that I can look more successful, it doesn't compute to me. It's like, dude, I'm comfortable being in the discomfort of the process. And so if I can stick this out and I can keep being forged through this, and honestly, it's like one of the greatest mental faculty enhancers, right? Because dude, it's such a strong motivating driving force to be like, I need to be better. I need to do more. I need to accomplish more. I need to get further ahead. Like I know I'm doing a lot, but I could do more. I always think I could do more, no matter how much I'm putting out, no matter how much I'm doing. I'm getting up at 3 a.m. I'm doing my ice baths. I'm going to the gym. I'm being locked in on my disciplines and my habits, building my empire every day, 7 days a week, aside from the Sabbath, which I'm still building on that day, but I'm just, more lax. I can always do more. I always believe that I can do more. I also always believe that everything and anything I put my mind to achieve, I will become in the top 1% of that specific subset skill, that niche. It's always been true. It always is true. It's true because I believe it, and that's what I experience. I've continually experienced that since I was like 11 years old. So there's absolutely no need for me to level up my lifestyle preemptively to make people on the internet view me as now he's finally successful. I think I've made it already. I'm well on my vision board. I'm making my dreams a reality every single day. So just because people that I know that they're living beyond their means and they're not over enthused with their lifestyle, they don't love their job, they're in massive debt, in liabilities to try and flex a lifestyle so that their peer group will think they're successful. I'm like, dude, you can judge me all you want. It's totally chill. I have absolutely no debt. Okay, that's not true. I do have debt, but my debt is leveraged in assets. Okay, so it's good debt versus bad debt, which I could literally, I'll do a podcast on that. Okay, there's a difference. All right, if you're investing, if you're using your net worth and your capital in credit to leverage into an asset such as buying crypto, when you're about to launch into a bull market and you're immediately in profit, and then you start paying that back, versus getting an auto loan on a brand new car that's going to lose 40% of its value in the first calendar year, not to mention you're making payments and you're paying full coverage insurance. So now you're paying $300-400 a month just for insurance plus your gas, and maybe you get a sports car, so you're paying $300 in gas while I'm driving a car I own completely outright. I pay less than 3 figures for my insurance, fully covered, everything's dialed in, and I'm getting 55 mpg. I mean, is it lame to not have a sports car anymore? I mean, yes, I'm a car guy. I'm a car guy through and through, to my core, to my heart, and I'm daily driving a Prius, bro. Like, you don't it. I'm making these sacrifices, bro, just because I'm making it sound like, oh, it's so easy. It's just mental discipline and just sharpens your mind. Like, yes, it is, but like, I think I'm undercutting and I'm underwriting the severity of the shortcuts that I'm taking, right? Like, you have no idea how hard it is for me to go from a really nice sports car that I love to be daily in a Prius, bro. Like, I'm a car guy, and it's like, ugh. I can't even go to car meets, bro. I'm pulling up in a Prius, bro. They're gonna make fun of me, you know. So big pitfalls, right? But It's just necessary because I'm being small enough on purpose, intentionally. And if you're small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough. It is inevitable on my path, on my course, what I'm doing, how I'm living, never getting into bad debt, living below my means, always cooking food instead of eating out because I know I'm saving money there, okay? And then taking all my excess capital, like I talked about in episode 22, Secret Investing Hack, which is insane, okay? And real quick glaze of it, all it is taking a look at your budget and going over changing some of your habits, like the eating out to making food, like going to Starbucks or Dutch Bros every week, 3 times a week. Cut that out, okay? Stop drinking soda, stop getting those sweet treats, okay? And then look over your budget and say, I did this, and in 30 days I saved $1,600 when I made the shift and I looked at my budget, and that $1,600 went directly into investing. And it's actually insane. It is insane if you look this over on your budget, and you'll be amazed at how much money you can save. Okay, so that's just a tiny little secret investing hack that you do that long enough and you're intentional about it. What's that going to look like? $1,600. Let's make it a flat number. Let's say you can't scalp out a 1,600. Let's say it's 1,000 flat. Okay. So in a year, you save an additional 12,000. Dude, you got $12,000 to invest into an investment account every year. Bro, like, how much better is that? How much better would it be to, instead of having a 2024 car that you've got a $30,000 auto loan on that you're paying, which is bad debt, because I won't go into all the definitions of good debt, bad debt. It's too much to explain in this episode. It's not what it's about. But how much better would it be for you if you got a car that was 10 years old that you could actually afford to buy outright, or you could just do like a 2-year auto loan, pay it off super fast, and then you have liability coverage. So you're literally off the top just from your car payment, your car expenditures like gas and insurance, just those tiny little category of expenses, you're saving $800 to $1,200 a month just right there in one thing, one category. What if instead of eating out 5 days a week, you meal prepped on Sundays and Wednesdays 2 times a week, and you brought a lunch to work with you, and you saved $15 a day every day in perpetuity? You're saving $600 right there per month. And all this savings is going directly into investments. Yes, you know what's going to happen? If you're doing that, your coworkers are going to make little cuts and little digs at you, little jokes. Oh, you can't afford lunch, I see, huh? You packing your own lunch, little digs like that. Don't let it get under your skin and just chill. You don't even have to respond because you know what you're doing. You know where you're going, and you're small enough, intentionally, consciously, long enough. You know where that's going to take you on the long run. Okay? So many people, I've talked to a lot of people because I do one-on-one consultations for my social media, and a lot of people tell me they don't have money to build investment accounts, to like build a budget for spending something on marketing or investing in a course or starting a business. And it's like, dude, that's not true. That's not true. You're just spending your money on other stuff that's irrelevant to your growth and development. Like, that's just really what it is. Your priorities are just askew. It's not that you don't have the money, bro. You got a nicer car than me. You live in a nicer place than me. You got a job that you go to every day. You got 40 hours a week. You got a full-time income. It's not that you don't have money. It's that your priorities are askew. I'm sorry to hurt your ego and tell you the truth, but that's just what it is, right? So you got to be small enough, long enough to be big enough soon enough. And I hope I've drilled this home, because you don't understand how monumental this really is. Chart it out over a decade. $12,000 a year over a decade, $120,000 in an investment account. You put that in, let's say US 30. Let's say you put it in a trading account and you're getting a rate of return of 6% return? Dude, and that's not like life-changing amounts of money. It's a little under 5 figures a year. So it's not like game-changing, but we're talking We're talking that's a whole car payment, a brand new car payment for a year that you got a decade later. But the problem is, are you willing to pay to play, not pay? It is pay to play though. Are you willing to pay the price to be big enough soon enough? Because the price is big. You have to make a lot of sacrifices over an extended period of time when all your peers are making little snarky remarks at you because they're trying to peer pressure you. It's the crabs in a barrel thing, trying to peer pressure you into living the lifestyle they're living, which it's not good. Normalcy's not great. If you want to be extraordinary, you got to be extra. It's literally what the word is, extraordinary. Okay? So stay small enough, long enough that you'll be big enough soon enough. I wanted to make a whole episode on that just because it hits so hard. Like, I'm even considering, now this is just a spitball idea, but I'm considering doing a series on my YouTube of daily vlogging for like a quarter or two, 3 months to 6 months, where I literally live in my Prius. I literally live in my Prius. And I document all my expenditures and everything and show you how I'm beefing up my investment account and what I'm investing into. Live in there for 6 months and build it into a whole brand like campaign. Because there's a lot of people that are doing that. I'm really inspired by it. I think it's cool. So I'm considering doing that just to show you, like, there's literally no reason why you can't go after your goals and dreams. There's literally not a real reason. There's only excuses. And if you kill your excuses and you just go after it, no matter what your starting hand is, you can make it happen. I want to cut the excuses, cut the garbage out for people and show them, look, boom, I did it like this. Didn't have to do that. I did not have to do that, but I did it just to show you. Look at what you could do. This is a potential option for you. I think it's cool. I'm pondering, I'm pontificating the idea. I haven't necessarily executed on pulling the trigger on that yet, but you know, it's floating around my head. So that's the episode today. Really, really passionate about this one because I think when it comes to the Valley of Despair, which we just did an episode on, you know, that area of your life where you're consciously building yourself into the future version of yourself that you seek to create a divine alignment with, in that area, from when you are a wandering generality to a meaningful specific, and you're walking through the unknown, it's the hardest area. It's the hardest time in your process and development. And I think these little tidbits, these little tricks here, and these little mindset shifts, they make it easier because it allows you to see the light at the end of the tunnel over there. Because if you set a long-term vision and you know the things that you have to do, the daily executables on a long enough time frame, and you can chart it out based on the money you're saving and what the budget is and where I'm trying to get to with this investment, how much that is. You can literally chart it to the day of when you'll get to critical mass and no longer have to be making these choices and these meager lifestyle decisions that actually propel you forward. So it puts that light at the end of the tunnel in your vision, and you can count the days. So I think that makes it easier to chart through, to trek through. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. I hope you got something of value out of this. And yeah, keep glowing, keep growing, keep going. I love you.